sisters. James here, and welcome back to my channel.
James Charles is allegedly involved with Evan Johnson, the same man accused and later convicted of violently assaulting influencer Kayla Malec, and not just a vague accusation. Evan broke her jaw, he choked her, he isolated her, he manipulated her emotionally and physically for nearly a year. Kayla documented everything: photos, text messages, medical reports, and police records. Kayla and James had worked together before. They weren't best friends, but there was trust.
Me and Kayla Malec just weren't close friends. Kayla, bestie.
That trust was broken when James reportedly ignored her experiences and chose to associate with Evan. He didn't just tolerate him. He supported him, defended him, flew him out, and even helped him film an apology video.
Ridiculously embarrassing to admit this, but I think I have to, and that is that I'm desperate.
When Kayla confronted James about Evan, his chilling response was, "Can I have him now?" That wasn't a joke. That wasn't sarcasm. That was the actual reaction from someone Kayla once trusted. Someone she had collaborated with. Someone who knew her story. Let that sink in.
What the fuck is going on? What the fuck, bitch? What the fuck?
After months of court proceedings, she won. Kayla went against Evan in court and won.
And just like that, justice was served. Justice was served.
Evan Johnson was found guilty and sentenced. James Charles only ever seems to show remorse when a brand deal is on the line. Every time he's canceled, he walks away.
Two different people that they had inappropriate messages with me on social media. Let's go. Hi, sisters.
With a rebrand, a redemption arc, and a new generation of supporters too young to know better, it's like he doesn't just get a second chance, he gets a whole redo. This isn't new. It's part of a long-standing pattern. James has been accused of inappropriate messages with 16 different boys. He's been called out for pursuing straight men and manipulating younger followers. The receipts are everywhere. Screenshots, videos.
I'm not physically attracted to older guys. I would date like the absolute youngest.
Calling the police.
But somehow he always lands on his feet. This time though, it's not just about his own behavior. It's about what happens when someone with influence and power uses it to protect an abuser and silence a survivor. Let's talk about Kayla. Kayla Malec is a content creator with a growing audience across TikTok and YouTube. She seems bright, bubbly, joyful on camera. But behind the scenes, she was living in a nightmare. In her two-part series, He Doesn't Love You, she exposes everything. How Evan charmed her, isolated her, and started showing red flags. His DUI, his anger, his obsession with control. Then the outbursts, the jealousy, the manipulation, the violence. He accused her of cheating, publicly humiliated her, threatened her. Then one night, he broke her jaw. She couldn't eat, couldn't speak properly. She was terrified, but she didn't stay silent. She gathered evidence, took photos of the bruises, went to the police, and eventually, she won in court. Evan Johnson is now behind bars, and while she was doing all of that, filing reports, attending court hearings, rebuilding her life, James Charles was flying Evan out, housing him, helping him write a script to manipulate the internet. James reportedly referred to Evan as daddy in leaked audio.
So in the video, you could hear James calling Evan daddy.
He was fully aware of what Evan had done. Kayla had told him. She had sent proof. She had begged him to believe her. And still, he chose the abuser. Imagine surviving domestic violence only to find out that someone in your own industry, someone you once trusted, is enabling your abuser behind the scenes. Kayla had told him everything, and he admitted it privately. Yet when the cameras were rolling, he played victim. Once again, he made her pain about himself. Zach Seller, a former friend of Evan, came forward with even more evidence. Screenshots, text threads, explicit messages. He exposed how James coached Evan on how to apologize, helped him plan a social media comeback, and dismissed Kayla as a psycho who was just dragging things out for attention.
You got away from the psycho. She is the psychopath. She has been known to lie. She has been also known to make up complete fake stories just to get clout.
And this wasn't just vague hearsay. There were timestamped receipts and voice memos. While Kayla was building a legal case, James was helping build Evan's rebrand. After Kayla announced her legal win, James released a 10-minute apology video. 1 hour later.
The response video was posted an hour after I announced that I won my court case. 1 hour. So
it framed him as someone caught in the middle, claiming he only had a brief friendship with Evan and wasn't fully aware of the abuse.
really hate to admit it, but I did have a brief friendship with Evan Johnson. But
Kayla had told him the dates didn't add up. His version of events contradicted the evidence. And the timing of the video appeared strategic, an attempt to reclaim the narrative before Kayla's story gained more traction. His apology went viral and was widely praised, receiving 4.4 million likes. Let that sink in. 4.4 million people applauded the man who sided with an abuser. Meanwhile, Kayla, the actual survivor, faced backlash. People accused her of dwelling on the past or trying to stay relevant. Some of the public disregarded her voice, almost as if trauma had an expiration date. But this wasn't just about drama. It was about betrayal, trauma, and being silenced by someone with far more influence. The situation was further complicated when another problematic TikToker, known as Be Better, launched a podcast called Investigating James Charles, which discussed James's involvement in the case. While the podcast received mixed reactions due to its host's own controversies, it gained attention when Kayla herself appeared via FaceTime, confirming James's betrayal and giving the podcast her approval. She confirmed everything: the conversations, the lies, the gaslighting. She made it clear. James knew, and he didn't care. In fact, he lied to the public, saying he didn't know the abuse that Evan caused on Kayla. As more evidence surfaced, screenshots, DMs, and TikToks showing timelines of James's contact with Evan, James's apology began to appear more calculated than heartfelt. Observers noted the apology video was likely pre-recorded, polished, and released strategically after Kayla's court win to shift attention. Despite all this, James continues to regain followers and support online. The broader public seems to have quickly forgiven him, while Kayla continues to face criticism, with some accusing her of dragging it out. Critics fail to recognize the trauma she endured and the emotional toll of being betrayed by a close friend during an already harrowing experience. In the midst of the backlash, TikToker Bryce Hall added fuel to the fire. In a viral video, Bryce said, "James, you are cooked, man. We are going to need 27 more crying apology videos. He is trying to hire like 19 PR teams to clean up his mess. And they are responding like, no kid, you are cooked." Some people are starting to hold him accountable for his disgusting acts. He made it clear that James Charles was a person who was used to being canceled and finding his way out of dramas. The internet immediately voiced their opinions on James and added more pressure for him to respond to prove his innocence. This isn't about clout. It's not about internet drama. It's about what happens when powerful influencers rewrite history and the people they leave broken in the process. Let's rewind a bit. James Charles has been under fire before, for texting underage boys, for manipulating fans, for creating a toxic environment behind the scenes. Every time, he disappears for a few weeks, posts a video with sad music, and comes back with a new product line or makeup look, and people move on. But this time is different. This time, there's a survivor involved. There's a court case. There's real evidence, real pain, real consequences.
I've had to learn is that it's not my fault. I stayed because I was manipulated into it. How I got out is something I'm forever thankful for.
James inserted himself into a situation he had no business in, and when he had a choice, believe the woman or side with the abuser, he made his decision. He chose Evan, and then he chose to gaslight Kayla about it. Even now, James is allegedly threatening legal action against creators who speak up. If you've got nothing to hide, why the threats? Why the lawsuits? Why silence the people telling the truth? James has had every opportunity to do better, to own up, to apologize sincerely, but time and time again, he chooses optics over accountability. And this time, he crossed a line he can't PR spin his way out of. Let's not forget, Kayla fought a war to get justice. She didn't ask to be abused, she didn't ask to be betrayed, and she certainly didn't ask to be silenced by someone more famous than her. She deserved support. She deserved protection. She deserved to be believed. And now James wants to position himself as the misunderstood one, the one caught in the middle? No, absolutely not. If you support survivors, support Kayla. She won her case, but she shouldn't have to fight again just to be believed. If you're still following James Charles, take a moment and ask yourself why. At what point do the red flags become undeniable? This isn't cancel culture. This is accountability. If you've made it this far, comment below your thoughts on this whole situation. Kayla deserves peace. She deserves to heal without having her truth questioned. And she deserves more than being sidelined in a story that's ultimately about her survival. And James Charles? He should have never been in this story to begin with, but since he put himself in it, since he chose the wrong side, he should face the consequences that come with that choice. Enough is enough. Make sure to subscribe for daily celebrity news.
Hi, sisters!